Okay, so this question is asking you to graph it by plotting the vertex and 4 additional points. So we're going to start by finding the vertex. So to solve for the vertex, we're going to use the formula negative b divided by 2a. That gives you the x-coordinate of your vertex. So a is 5/2, b is negative 5. So negative 5 divided by 2 times 5/2. So negative times a negative is going to give us a positive 5. 2 times 5 is 10, divided by 2 is 5, which is going to give us 1. So the x-coordinate of our vertex is 1. To solve for the y-coordinate, we're just going to plug it right back in. So I'm going to use a TI-84 here to plug it in, but you can also just plug it in by hand. So I'm just going to make life easier, I'm just going to type in this equation the way I see it. So 5/2 x squared, that's 2.5, oops, got a little crazy there, 2.5 goodness, that's just going to continue to do that to me. Try it one more time. So 2.5 x squared minus 5, see I'm using this xt theta n button up here, minus 5/2, which is 2.5. So there's my equation. I need to tell it though that I want x to be 1. So I'm going to type in 1 stored for x. So now the calculator knows that x is 1. So I'm going to pull this equation back up by just hitting second enter until it shows back up. Second enter, there it is. The calculator knows I want it to be 1. I hit enter and I get negative 5. So negative 5 is my y-coordinate. So that gives me my vertex on negative 5. So we also need 4 more points. So let's just go with 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do the same thing using my calculator to get the other points. I'm going to store 0 for x. So 0, store x. Oops, did not like that I hit x twice. So 0 stored for x. Oh, let's just delete one of those. There we go. And again, I'm going to keep pulling back that equation. Second enter, second enter, till my equation comes back. Yours won't take as long because I'm assuming you won't type that in too many times incorrectly like I just did. Hit enter. So 0, negative 2.5 is an ordered pair. We could have just looked. We know that that's our y-intercept. Now I'm going to 1. We already know that was our vertex. So we better do one more point. So now I'm going to plug in 2. So 2 store for x, enter. And I'm going to pull this equation back up. Second enter, second enter. And that gives me when x is 2, y is negative 2.5. And I'm going to plug in 3 for x. So 3 store for x. Pull the original back up. Second enter, second enter. When x is 3, y is 5. And we need one more. We're going to plug in 4 for x. So 4 stored for x. And pull the original equation back up one more time. There we go. So x is 4, y is 17.5. And then you would just go ahead and plot all of those points. So to finish up, you would plot these points using the grapher in Alex. I know it's kind of picky about how you put in your answers, so it might require that you put these in as fractions, and there is a fraction button. So let me know if that's what you're struggling with on these.